On the Apple version of the app, you can extend your sub. There you go.
Is the new music video and song WAP. Now, I'm not going to tell you what that means. If you're interested in looking that up, you can. It's really dirty and it's disgusting. That song is, it's pretty gross. So I heard about it through Twitter, mostly because my brother did a censored reading of some of the lyrics on his show. And I respected him for that because personally, I would have done the exact same thing. I would not debase myself by reading those disgusting lyrics uncensored. So he chose to read it censored and it kind of blew up on Twitter. And
thank you so much, Ben Shapiro, from refraining from saying the N-word and pussy. I like how she laughs too. Like, it's so disgusting. Like, please. Ladies are disgusting, apparently. Honestly, if you are so anti-women's empowerment, if you're so afraid of seeing a woman take full control over her body in the way that she expresses herself, in the way that she uses her body as art to creatively express herself in perhaps an explicit manner, but the freedom to do so is what is the importance here. And the fact that she is so afraid of this because she too adheres to the patriarchy in the same way that her brother does not mean that you are in the right. And I feel like part of her just does not even believe this bullshit either, but she has found a way to monetize off of having these values. There's a lot of money to be made in having these backwards Christian fundamentalist takes. People like to hear them. And I just can't help but wonder if she is in some way censoring herself as a way to make money by upholding the patriarchy, Judeo-Christian values, and every other means of supporting this moral superiority that you think that you hold over anyone else who does not abide by or adhere to the same rules or standards that you do. I don't know what this is. Why do I talk with my hands so frequently? I'm gonna smack myself in the fucking face one day. I'm literally going to slap the face off of my face one day because I can't control my fucking hands.
And because of that, and because of his show, I looked at it a little bit, and I was not impressed. Let me just say that.
Why is she
To
laughing?
me, that video was...
What? I just don't understand. Like, what is this? I talk with my hands all the time too. Thank you for sharing that. It makes me feel a little bit... Is she anything but a gender traitor? Are you from Italy? No, I'm not. I mean, she's so uncomfortable. You can tell that she is obviously she might be a little uncomfortable with talking about something that does make her genuinely uncomfortable. Perhaps that is possible. But it's the fact that she is, in a way, devaluing the work of women because it is work that you don't approve of. And it doesn't mean that it does not hold its own value or it should be undermined in any way. It just means that you are not approving of the way in which women have been able to capitalize off of their own sexuality, from sexual liberation, from the feminist movement, for women's right to be equal alongside men, the way in which men have used their own profession as rappers to express themselves sexually and explicitly. And just because women are reclaiming the same title as male rappers and they are talking about the same things that male rappers have been talking about since the beginning, it just goes to show that you are not even close to upholding the interests in feminism in the same way that you are upholding the interests of Christian fundamentalism and the patriarchy, that you have accepted these traditional heteronormative goals you are upholding. And just because you think that you are in the right does not mean that you are. it just it just shows that you are willing to keep women in a position subservient to men. That is the issue. Whether you realize it or not, if you are not in the business of being pro-woman, even if it is pro-woman in a way that you don't agree with, you are still undermining the potential of women one day having full-blown equality with men.
Is pretty much the epitome of everything I'm against. It's definitely not classic. It definitely is more about that female empowerment that is not empowering at all and just puts you out there to be a sex object for people to look at. And the fact of the matter is that video was pornographic. And
the thing is like women expressing themselves and objectifying themselves is 100% the peak. In my mind, that is peak women empowerment. Whenever women are making the decision to objectify themselves because they feel so comfortable with freely expressing themselves, and yes, in a way, men do objectify women in their performances, but women are the ones making the money off of it, and that is different. Women are taking the opportunity to use their bodies in which men have used and have viewed as their own for quite some time. But they are taking full-blown control over their bodies as women. They are providing a service that men usually want to take for free or want to have as their own. But in this case, women are making men work for it and pay for it. And it's not available for them. It's not up for grabs. They can't take it for granted. They can enjoy it. They can consume it. But women are still going to have the opportunity now with OnlyFans, with the freedom to express yourself on the internet or otherwise, or on site, sex workers of any kind, and women like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, who are artists, who are just expressing themselves as artists. They are the ones who are going to profit off of this. Women who take control over their own bodies and capitalize off of this, even if some view it as being objectifying, they're still the ones who are making money off of this, and that is completely different. I'm sure there's plenty of men making money off of it, let's be real. Musicians are notoriously exploited by their label for profit. I mean, say what you will about that, and that is 100% true, but I would go so far to say that Cardi B has made it far enough with her label that she has creative freedom over the way that she wants her music video to be captured, and that is completely different than the track itself. But if we're talking about the why she is mad, it has a lot to do with the music video, which is talking about how she likens this to pornography. I think that Cardi B probably didn't have anybody telling her what she could or she could not do in the music video. Her eyebrows look like titles. All right, I'm not gonna lie. She has fierce eyebrows and I kind of love them, but Ben's problem isn't with musicians being exploited. Tildy? Oh, sorry. I didn't see that. She does have good eyebrows. Sorry, I have my cord that's running through my chat. I can't see it. I couldn't see it. I just thought it said tiles. This is a really good example of somebody who does meet the traditional standards of conventional attractiveness, but her politics are just so dangerous that, yeah, once she starts talking, then you completely lose sight of how she might be good looking, and I don't know. You start to just look past, you look past the facade and you look onto the bullshit, and this is the reason why some people who might be objectively attractive, if that's even a thing, Don't do it for some people.
And it is available on YouTube for anyone to consume, especially children. And that is obviously something that I, as a conservative, am really, really against. And I see it as the degradation of women, that we think that that is our value, to sing about this very sexual, horribly written lyrics, to be honest. I mean, every time I listen to it, I get a little nauseous. And
why does she continue to listen to it though? I don't know. I think that she deep down likes it and she hates it. I bet you like deep down she loves it. But she's just expected. She's expected to play it off like she hates it. She's bumping that shit 3 times a day.
And also, it's not really music. So there's no music there. So that's also an issue. But outside of the technical aspects, it also is just a very clear example to me of how conservative women...
Well, we know what her idea of music is. Can't let Nana see or hear her approval. I mean, again, like, I just can't imagine how you cannot see. You cannot see how closely both Ben and Abigail veer off into, like, territory that makes them appear to be a little racist on top of misogynistic.
Need to take the culture back, because if this is what is considered female empowerment, we have really lost our way. Female empowerment is not about presenting ourselves as sex objects and being a slave to our lusts and appetites. It's about so much more than that. It's about living your life with values, having meaning, having purpose, being part of a community, having faith, being part of a family. All of those things give women value. Not so much.
How can you say that a woman and her journey in seeking women's empowerment is somehow being subservient to a man in a traditional Western civilization household? It just goes to show that your standards that you think are superior to the standards that feminists all across the world have set when it comes to women's empowerment do vary. And it doesn't mean that just because you don't like the direction of some women in their journey to seek their own way or definition of empowerment is wrong. It just means that you are so confident in your own bigotry toward women that you feel as though you are taking on the right approach because you are guided by Western values, cultural hegemony that has upheld these social constructs as to how a woman should behave and the values that a woman should seek to uphold as a wife in a community with a husband. All right? Like, that's it. And the fact that she feels so strongly, so adamantly in her traditionalist, dare I say, conservative, dare I say, Christian fundamentalist, it really does come down to, like, I think that she's very hard-pressed in her Christian fundamentalist attitude toward women, that it does make her seem misogynistic. I don't know why this is when I start to get sassy. Oh, she's Jewish though, no? Okay, Judeo-Christian values, sorry. Sorry, Judeo-Christian fundamentalism. Oh, I'm doing her kind of dirty. Suburban state. Exactly. She's an Orthodox Jew. Okay, she's an Orthodox Jew with with an interest in upholding classic, traditional social values, adhering to heteronormativity in the way that social constructs have defined the ways in which men and women should act, behave, the things that they should do, their roles, their social roles, their tasks, their obligations, and that is what she's in the business of upholding and adhering to. Her background looks like somebody's Pinterest post. I went through like a Pinterest period too, and you know, decor is cool. That's all I'm gonna say. Empowerment is making your imprisonment feel less prison-ish. Well, the thing is that I'm sure that she has a contemporary spin on the traditional values that she seeks to uphold. Like, I'm sure that she believes that you as a woman should be tasked with doing everything that a woman in the traditional context should be tasked with, that is being a stay-at-home mom, bearing the children, taking care of your husband, and maintaining that traditional role in the nuclear family as a suburban housewife. But also, if you want to go to college, get yourself a four-year degree, make yourself feel good so that you can prove to yourself that you are just as smart as the men, but then get your ass back into the kitchen and bake that pie. Like, that's it. I just feel like, yeah, of course, she might feel as though women should have the right to further themselves professionally, but that will never supersede your ultimate goal or your ultimate purpose to be put on this planet, and that is to be a stay-at-home trad wife and cook, get yourself in the kitchen and take care of the kids. She claims going back to how shit was in the 1950s is empowerment. Oh God, really? Hold on.
That video. So I'm not going to tell you to go look it up, but if you already know what it is, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it too. Please leave it in the comments below. Next up, I want to talk about summertime and some of my favorite summer activities. So
that's it. That's it. Okay, I want a refund. Okay, hard-hitting analysis, WAP icky. Let's talk about summer.
Said you felt so happy you could die.